We Sri Lankans love our food, more so because it's a veritable potpourri of flavors from all around the world. The Dutch probably added most to our cuisine, from our much-loved patties, love cake, broodher and cutlets, which were originally frikadelles, and kokis, which also came from the Dutch. And of course there's the most exciting of all, the Lamprais. Burger food aficionado Ernst&young's Scharenguivel-Kellar is on right after this on the story of the Lamprais. Welcome to Prime Group Kaleidoscope with me, Savithri Rodrigo, and your weekly dose of daring, positive, different. On Prime Group Kaleidoscope today, we get clear about the newest tax amnesty, weave threads that unite in diversity, and get our resident bookworm to give us some weekend reads. But first, here's culinary enthusiast and burger food aficionado Ernst&young's Scharenguivel-Kellar on how the Lamprais came to be.
The Lamprais is not Dutch, it is a Dutch burger dish. After nearly 100 years in Indonesia, the Dutch settled in Ceylon, bringing with them the Indonesian lemper, which is a lump of rice cooked in a banana leaf, to which they added their frikadelles and the Indonesian belacan and called it a Lamprais, which means lump of rice. Their descendants, the burgers, added the sini sambal and the brinjal pehi and the spicy meat curry, and the dish turned into a Lamprais, which is the anglicized version of Lamprais.
And what's the no-no in a Lamprais? Never include an egg and never have bones of any kind. You should be able to eat it with a fork.
Welcome to 88 Residence Kathodua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence, Prime Group.
Welcome back. This is our snapshot with a quick look at the week that was. Sri Lanka's economy saw 12.3% growth in the second quarter of this year after a 16.4% contraction in the same quarter 1 year ago. By end August, Sri Lanka's foreign reserves were at $3.5 billion, helped up by new foreign inflows. Sri Lanka's banks' returns on equity hit the highest levels in more than 3 years in June, with sector ROE up to 16.5% from 11.4% 6 months ago. Sri Lankan novelist Anuk Arulprakasam's A Passage North has been shortlisted for the Booker Prize 2021. A log coffin from the Bronze Age was unearthed at a British golf course. It contained the remains of a man buried more than 4,000 years ago. The lyrics of John Lennon's Imagine was projected on landmarks around the world to mark 50 years since its release. Up next, the new tax amnesty and tax write-off is summarized by EY partner and head of tax, Duminda Hulangamur. Welcome, this is our news capsule. The Finance Bill of 2021, recently passed in Parliament, provides for sweeping tax amnesties for undeclared income and writes off unpaid taxes, duties, levies and unpaid income tax. I asked Head of Tax and partner of Ernst&young, Duminda Hulangamur, for the details in a nutshell.
The recently passed Finance Act provides for amnesty from income tax and VAT. And the good side and the bad side of the amnesty. The good side is that on a temporary basis at least it will provide for hitherto undeclared income to come into the system, especially foreign currency, which is lacking now, people will bring in and boost the foreign currency reserves. The bad side of the amnesty is that it discourages people or good taxpayers from complying with the law when amnesties are given to people who have not declared income so far. So to that extent there is a demotivation. So there are the dual impact, plus and minus. On the other side of the amnesty is the write-offs that has been of outstanding taxes. The Lennon has so many taxes outstanding from taxpayers. So all those taxes will be written off of 2020, both income tax and VAT for individuals. But for corporates, the penalties and interest that are outstanding will be written off under this proposed write-off.
The Colombo stock market saw the all-share price index rebound with some high gains this week. But at close of market on Thursday, the all-share price index remained flat, with the average daily turnover registering at 5.34 billion rupees. This week saw WTI oil moved above $72 per barrel as US crude oil and fuel stockpiles dropped sharply. While aluminium prices hit a decade-high price of $2,775.50, gold prices continue to remain flat at $1,786 per ounce. With digital being the way to go, Srilanka Life launched Sea Life Digital, a customer app for full access of services providing 24/7 365 access for both customers and non-customers. Features include policy status, online premium payments and purchase of policies, products, features and branch locations. The much-awaited MetGala was held this week. Smaller and more intimate, but with an asking price of $35,000 a plate and playing on the theme of American independence. And the stars made sure the theme pushed every creative button there was.
Welcome to 88 Residence Kathadua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 88 Residence, Prime Group.
Selena Pieris believes strongly that Sri Lankan handlooms can be the empowering threads for women to be agents of change. She's up next on Srilanka Life. Let's talk.
We are here to better your lives and champion your every goal. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
It's a blend of colours that puts the rainbow to shame. But at the same time, it's a rural-based cottage industry and it's labour-intensive with little appreciation for the artisans who create the colourful masterpieces. This is Sri Lanka's 2,500-year-old handloom industry. Attorney at law Selena Pieris is the Director of Business Development at Celine, Sri Lanka's only fair trade handloom company and one of the country's largest social enterprises. She took her experience at the Office for National Unity and Reconciliation, the UN, and as a youth activist to add an interesting twist into the threads of this loom. That handloom can be a unifier, a tool to tackle racism and make women the agents of change through their craft. Welcome Selena, good to have you on Srilanka Life. Let's talk. Your positioning of the handloom industry is very interesting in the concept of social change. How important is it that craft and industry evolve to survive?
The handloom industry in particular and the craft industry in general is by nature able to really give rural women of Sri Lanka who are really at high risk of unskilled migration jobs in their own homes and village. That's a very crucial factor. There are many social problems faced by women and their families and the communities around them because they're leaving homes without the support systems because they have no economic options. It's not by choice, right? And that's why industries like ours really need to evolve in order to survive. Because what we saw with COVID, that it's vital that people have jobs in the formal sector closer to home.
In this survival evolution, what are the challenges faced by the very fundamentals of the craft and those involved in it?
We are facing extinction phase largely because of a lack of awareness of the value of the craft. That's the starting point. And also on the other end, there is an exploitation and a lack of recognition of those in the supply chain. And I feel that those are key challenges facing the industry at this moment. And that's the core from which the other challenges around lack of innovation, lack of a younger generation, lack of market access, it all rises from this core. And so we in the industry must really take this opportunity. I feel we have an opportunity now presented to us at this moment to bring greater value to the craft product and also enable greater transparency for the artisans so that their dignity is restored. Without this combination of greater value and transparency, I don't think we as an industry can go into the heights that we can, similar to what the other craft sectors in the world have done.
You have an interesting take on handloom, that it is a tool that can tackle racism. How so?
Businesses have a responsibility towards addressing and being vocal about the challenges and issues that bring our country and our communities backward. So in that spirit, Celine has really gone out of its way to create products such as our Pride collection, our zero waste collections, our reusable sanitary pad, our diversity dolls, which goes into our export market, that have given us the platform. So our product has given us the platform to take an active position on promoting diversity and inclusivity. And obviously, fighting racism and all of that is really a part of that platform that we have created. And of course, also our personal interest to do so.
Well, given that it is primarily women who are in your industry, how can they be agents of change?
Simple. I think we women are agents of change, you know. For us, an empowered woman really means an empowered household. We see it every day. A woman puts her money into her household. And our role is that with consistent interventions to give them the financial independence, to build awareness about this role that they have, their rights and their potential, women can truly change the way this country is run. And we don't need to be in parliament to do that, right? For us at Celine, empowerment is really the ability for the women in this country to say no, that they're in charge of the choices that they make. I'm not saying what we do is perfect at all. It's a slow journey. It's continuous improvement. But I strongly believe, Savithri, that those of us with the privilege to have a voice, must use it, but also back it up by investing our time and our effort in creating that impact in the grassroots of the country.
Certainly, empowerment means that you give the women a voice, that they are in charge of their future, that they are agents of change. Thank you, Selina, for joining us on Srilanka Life Let's Talk and letting us know a little bit more about how handloom and the handloom industry can be an agent of change. This here are Poffer Cheese, a very popular street food in the Netherlands even today. Originally fluffy balls of cooked dough, and Scharenguivel-Kellar gives us the scoop.
A lesser known Dutch burger treat is a Poffertjes. It is made to an old Dutch recipe with lots of egg yolks added to an yeast dough and cooked in a special pan with deep indentation. So they turned it into these little balls of dough which were served with a light sugar syrup flavored with rose and slivers of cashew floating in it, a delicious tea time treat. The Poffertjes are still made in the Netherlands today, but the recipe has evolved into a much easier one, made with baking powder instead of yeast, and they are actually like little pancakes now.
We are in times of distance, locked up in our homes and not able to travel. So here's the next best thing. Read, read, read. Let your imagination travel. Pereira Hussein's September Madness book sale, where almost everything is discounted by 30%, is on. And Prime Group Kaleidoscope's resident bookworm Pereira Hussein Sam Pereira is here with some of his recommends on Life in 60.
Saris and Grapefruit is a debut collection of short stories by Rukmini Artigala, who began writing later in life. Her stories reflect a sense of maturity, and you suspect many of them may be drawn from real-life experiences. The author has lived and worked overseas, and some of these stories are about situations you might not encounter here. All told, it is a light, engaging collection which you will thoroughly enjoy reading. To truly understand the rise of colonial bourgeoisie in Sri Lanka, you must read Kumari Jayawardena's From Nobodies to Somebodies. In this book, which is not really a coffee table book although it looks like one, Michael Roberts does a serious sociological study about Jeroni Spiris and the times he lived in by examining various letters that he had written. Facets of modern Ceylon history will give you an insight into those times. As you might know, Jeroni Spiris' descendants went on to form Arpico, or the Richard Spiris group of companies.
So did you like our show today? Please press the like sign on YouTube. And do subscribe to Kaleidoscope with Savithri Rodrigo on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Tomorrow is a bright new day, but we have to stay safe, so mask up. Until we are back with you next week on Prime Group Kaleidoscope, here's our Kaleidoscope takeaway with some food for thought. You are what you eat, so don't be fast, cheap, easy or fake.